Well, congratulations are in order to Chris Brown. His latest contribution to the culture, latest studio album, Breezy, finishes number 4 on the Billboard Top 200. It's Chris's 11th top 10 studio album. That is an incredible career. Breezy sold about 72,000 units, which put him at number 4 behind Drake's Honestly Nevermind. That was number 3 in its second week on the chart. Also at number 2 was Luke Combs. And then number 1 was another Bad Bunny album. He's on fire right now. Chris is not happy, though, with his first week numbers. He tweeted this out July 8th, the Breezy Deluxe album. Not that it matters. Seems like y'all only invest in the negative stories about me. Chris gets in trouble. The whole world is on it. Chris drops an album, and pretty much he's like, he ain't getting the support. He said, I'm back on my gangster-ish. It's bracking at all times. So Chris is clearly not happy about where he lands on the top 200 list with his album, Breezy. I think that bad boy had 24 songs. That's a lot of records, and to still not get a number 1 finish. I'm sure Chris Brown and his camp are very disappointed. And you know it was an important thing to Chris. He did interviews this time. Chris has stopped doing interviews for most of his projects. I'm sure he's not happy. As a matter of fact, here's how close it was for Chris, and I do believe this would have been a slap in the face. Lil Durk finished 5th for this week, and he almost outsold Chris Brown with a deluxe album. Even though Chris had 24 new songs you never heard, Lil Durk's deluxe album with 9 new records that he didn't even promote at all, pretty much, almost outsold Breezy. It was 4,000 units away from outselling Breezy. That's how close it was from Durk. Just some add-on songs for the label, almost outselling Chris. That's where we are in 2022, and Chris ain't happy. He pretty much like, yo, when it's negative around me, the whole world is talking about it. When it's positive, crickets, is what Breezy is saying. If nobody else is going to tell the truth about Chris Brown music, I will be that guy. I don't have relationships with artists like that. You know, I don't feel like I got a lot of the people. My only obligation is to the people. Now, I'm respectful to artists and their talents. I think Chris Brown is a legend. Be clear. But I think he makes good, not great music. I think it's been that way for a while. I mean, if you, some of the earlier stuff is classic material, but over the last 4 or 5 projects from Breezy, they're very long. Number 1, I feel like they could be condensed down. He's clearly making long albums. Either he can't pick through the music or he's trying to work the streaming charts, which I totally get. But what happens when you drop long albums and you're not even winning the streaming charts? What this tells me is if Chris Brown dropped an album that was only 14, 15 records, he wouldn't have finished in the top 10. That's what I'm looking at. It 24 songs, and you barely outsold a Lil Durk deluxe album. It's very telling for a superstar who's about to go do arena tours. And watch this. These arena tours that Breezy's going to do, I bet are going to sell out because fans love Breezy. That is an interesting one for the label. What is that telling you? If your fans will still go out and pay hundreds of dollars to see you on tour, sell you out in arenas all across the country, but they not listening to the new music, that tells you they probably don't love the new music. That's all it can tell you. Unless the tour doesn't do good. He's on tour with Lil Baby. I think Chris Brown and Lil Baby are going to do phenomenal on tour. But again, if the fans are still selling out your tours, but the album sales are no longer reaching number 1, number 2 on the charts, that tells you the fans love you. They love the old you. They just don't like the new music like they used to like your music. That's really all it says. Again, Chris Brown's a legend. I have always been a bigger fan of the music that Trey Songz was making, of the music that other people from Chris's era. I'm an Usher guy. Like, I just think Usher is the best of all time, not named that nasty man from Chicago, Robert Kelly. That's just me. I'm not the biggest Chris Brown fan musically, but he is a legend. I just think the music is good, not great. And he probably would have struggled in his last project with sales, but he had the Drake feature for No Guidance, which is a cheat code amongst cheat codes. A lot of artists' sales would not be nowhere near where they end up landing if they didn't use Drake for that lead single, which is what Chris did on the last album. He didn't do it on this album, and I don't think it's a shock that the album sales are significantly lower, T-Pain recently on Twitch gave his explanation of why Chris Brown's album sales are no longer what they used to be.
The princess complex is when you not only get what you want, but you get the accolades of a pretty person for doing absolutely nothing and just being pretty. The second that the first real comes to you and say, "Hey."
Yeah, I do believe there could be some temerity and truth in what T-Pain is saying. He's saying, yo, Chris Brown is the pretty face, and it's the spoiled brat treatment. It's the light-skinned chick treatment. I get exactly what he's saying. And also to say this to Chris, like, yo, bro, if you get accused of a sexually related crime, I do believe it's a bigger story than you dropping music. I don't want to live in a world where we take somebody's music more serious than somebody, a woman or a man, making allegations about somebody. I don't want to live in a world like that. So to me, yes, it should be a bigger deal when somebody's accused of a crime, whatever it is, when it involves somebody being physically violated or harmed, period, especially in a sexual connotation. All right, so when I hear him say, yo, when I do something bad or accuse of something bad, when bad news comes about me, it's louder than the good. That's how life is, unfortunately. It just is that way. It's got to be that way, though, because I don't want to live in a world where we're taking, as much as I love music, music is a way of life. It's incredible. It's a big part of my life. It's still just an art. Like, if somebody is claiming that they're being violated, to me, that needs to be bigger than art every time. So I think that kind of goes to what T-Pain is saying with, yo, you got the brat treatment. You're living in a princess world when you don't understand things like that.